Every superpower has a weakness, has something that neutralizes it. Of course, the most famous of this is Kryptonite. So if Deepwork is the superpower of the 21st century, what is its kryptonite?
Distinctions for Life, helping you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference.
Welcome to Distinctions for Life, where I help you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference. I'm your host, Ron Davis. If you'd like more advice, visit my website at distinctionsforlife.tv. Last week, I defined what deep work was. This week, I want to talk about what has killed your ability to do it. I gave you some simple steps to start actually doing deep work last week. How did that go? If you set aside an hour to read a next-level book in your field, you may have found that doing that reading was very hard. You may have said, "Oh, this is so boring. Why is this guy what is he talking about? I don't understand that at all. What's the next episode of my favorite TV show going to be about?" All right, if you made it an hour, you also may have noticed that very little had stuck in your brain. How did this happen to you? You are a smart person. Why is studying so hard? We can go back to a previous distinction and use the fitness versus health metaphor. Doing deep work is hard because your mind isn't healthy, nor is it fit. Your mind isn't healthy because you've been feeding it a steady diet of intellectual junk food, to the point that your thoughts are fuzzy, slow, and any shiny thing captures your attention. It isn't fit because 5 minutes into reading a non-fiction science book, you will start feeling overwhelmed, dumb, and a little crazy. It is the equivalent to feeling like your heart is going to burst out of your chest after 5 minutes of running. Intellectual junk food. What do I mean by intellectual junk food? You've trained yourself to have a short attention span. I remember when I was growing up how adults used to say that kids didn't have a long attention span because they watched too much TV. They couldn't sit still for longer than 30 minutes. Well, nowadays kids can't sit still for a 30-minute cartoon. Not without pulling out a device and scrolling through Twitter. Social media is constantly training your mind to only consume shorter and shorter content. It gives you a constant feed of tiny, superficial bits of information. It leaves no place for thinking or integrating anything that you might accidentally learn. The idea that any concept of significance can be written up and understood in 256 characters or one Instagram picture or a 1-minute TikTok video is just crazy. And things just keep getting shorter. You realize that they created TikTok because YouTube videos were too long. Twitter because Facebook posts and blog posts were too long. Our culture is constantly trying to train your brain to switch thoughts at ever shorter intervals. And then there's multitasking. You feel that you must always do multiple things at the same time. You only want to stay on any one activity for a very short period of time. Want to find out just how intellectually out of shape you are? Try studying something for an hour. You know, when I was 40, I went to paramedic school. I had been a computer programmer for almost 20 years at that point. But having to study was a shock. The different aspects of reading to learn, memorizing, and then integrating for application of this medical material was hard. I'll put a link in my EMS Newbie podcast in the description so that you can see what it was like. Those first few weeks were like the first hour-long run for a training marathon. So how do you improve your ability to do deep work? All right, enough theory and crotchety old man talk. Let's talk about actually doing deep work. It's time to start training for that marathon. To get your mind healthy, you are going to have to improve its diet. I'm not talking about actual food here, but that is important too, because you won't become an intellectual superhero on a diet of donuts and Jolt Cola. But the impact of your food choices on your brain power is outside of this video, but it might be a worthy area of study for you to do some deep work on. You are going to have to start doing things that condition your mind for deep work and stop doing things that condition it to become a squirrel. Here are a few quick tips. 1. Get rid of the junk food. Limit your social media and very short form content of any type. Move your social media apps off of the front page of your phone and put your book reader there. Unitask as much as possible. Deep work is never multitasked. Practice this on less deep work things. For instance, just wash the dishes. You don't have to watch TV while you do it. Or watch TV without scrolling through Twitter while you do it. Do long-form things. Read books on subjects instead of just a bunch of Google searches. Dive deep into one subject instead of bouncing from one subject to another. As you eliminate the things that are making your mind weak, you can start doing actual deep work. Question of the day: what things are most killing your ability to do deep work? Leave a comment below. There is a lot to deep work, and I will probably be mentioning it on future episodes. If you really want to understand the subject, read Cal Newport's book. Thanks for watching today. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. This channel is all about helping you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference. Until next time, I'm Ron Davis. Every superpower has a weakness. Sometimes every superpower, you've trained yourself to have a short attention. All right, enough 30, but it might be, and maybe the people who wrote this teleprompter should make it, do shit.